Some of you guys may be asking, why are you on a Mr. Pokey video? And there's actually nothing wrong with the video of itself. Basically, this video is a guy who has multiple E6 S5, such as like Acheron, Robin, a few others, I believe Silverwolf. And I went down into the comments to see what people would say, and most had common sense. They even call this guy a flat earther for not believing in Superbreak because his E6 S5 characters do more damage than one S1 characters for Superbreak do. But I went down into the comments, right? And I read this: Superbreaks are very free-to-play friendly, which is why they're so popular. But when you're a whale with E6 S5 characters, the balance changes dramatically. Hyper carry teams are much stronger because you can run them with double limited 5-star harmony characters for some truly diabolical amounts of damage. It's amusing seeing people say that DHIL has fallen off. Yeah, at E0 S0 maybe, but at E6 S5, DHIL is by far the strongest DPS in the game. Now, I laughed at this. I genuinely laughed when I saw this, and I laughed even harder when I saw people agreeing here. Where was it? I don't know. Oh no, this guy's right. He's got it right. I don't know, saying E6 S5 DHIL is stronger than every other E6 S5 DPS sounds crazy to me. I would have thought Firefly dethroned him for total DPS output, since her E2 is the same if not better than DHIL's E2, which I agree. I personally do believe Firefly's E2 is way more broken than DHIL's, because not only is her E2 broken, but her E1 is broken. So you combine the two, I definitely do believe it's better than DHIL's E2. Yeah, I'm surprised that most people don't realize how low the Superbreak ceiling is compared to crit DPS's. Now, this is when I got the idea. I wanted to see for myself, isn't E6 S5 DHIL really better than an E6 S5 Firefly team? Now, one thing to keep in mind is in this thing, E6 S5 DHIL will be having an advantage. What do I mean by he's having an advantage? In this video, they run E6 S5 DHIL without a sustain. So it's complete hyper carry, no sustain, and I already checked at the end of the video, as you saw, every single one of these characters is E6 S5. Every single one. Alright? So let's just see what happens. Let me skip ahead a little bit. Here we go. Robin put her support up. Sparkle used her skill ult. Let's see how much damage it does. 500k without Robin's ult or Ruan May's E yet. Okay, now Ruan May puts up the E. Ult up. Robin goes into her ult state. This is where he's probably gonna hit his max damage. Yep, skill. This will probably be his max E damage if he uses the E first. Oh, only 2 skill points. 800k, very good. Ults, probably do like 1 mil. Yep, nearly 1 million with the ult. Full skill points. 1 million almost again. Huge. Yup. Sparkle uses her ult. Ruan May basics. Who's next? Sparkle's gonna use her skill on DHIL again. Let's see how much damage this does. I want to see if there's like anything more that is done. Here we go. 350 with the ult. There we go. Now Robin's in her concerto state. Ooh, nearly 2 million. Huge. Sparkle uses her skill. This should be DHIL's highest damage on one enemy. Yep, 1.3 mil. 900k. So very, very impressive. very strong. Though do remember, this is hyper carry, and every single person on that team is E6S5. Now, let's go here to the latest MOC. E6S5 Firefly with an E6S5 Ling shot. I'm not sure if Ruan Mei's E6S5. I didn't even make it to the end of this video because, spoiler alert, this team is way stronger than that DHIL team you just saw. So let's just get straight into it. So E6S5 Firefly, E6S5 Ling Sha. Let's see how much damage this team does. And it has a sustain. Keep in mind, Fugue is coming soon, and she will be a massive bonus to the break team, whether it be Firefly, DHIL, it doesn't matter. Any break DPS, Fugue is going to be absolutely massive. Alright, let's get into it. By the way, once Fugue releases as well, we will now be able to do hyper carry. Sorry, this is a bit loud. We will soon be able to do hyper carry break teams with Fugue's release. So do keep that in mind. This is with a sustain, unlike DHIL's hyper carry. Now do keep in mind, it does take this team longer to break through the toughness bar. However, when they do, boom. 800,000 from a Ling Sha Fu Yuan. Let's see how much this does. 1.2 million on 2 enemies. Ults 600k, 2.3 million. That's higher than DHIL. A sustain does more damage than DHIL at E6S5. Absolutely beautiful. By the way, it is possible, I'm not sure, to do hyper carry Ling Sha, and that would probably also do more than DHIL. It'd replace Firefly with, I'd assume, like Robin or something. I'm not completely sure, but this is just absolutely stupid. The sustain is doing more damage than DHIL. As you can see, no damage. This is the one downfall of break teams. However, it'll not matter all that much anyways. 350k from a Ling Sha E, 350k from a basic from Ruan Mei, 500k from an E from Harmony Trailblazer, and it only did 300k because they were already very low. So, I think you guys get the gist of it. The Super Break team, compared to this Hyper Carry E6S5 DHIL team, it's not even fucking close. Now, you may complain, oh, the enemies have exo toughness for break. Well, for those who are informed, Fugue will have exo toughness. If you have her on your team, automatically every single enemy on field will have exo toughness exactly the same as the current MOC. And Fugue is going to have super break multipliers for everyone on the team. And she's going to apply defense shred. And she's going to give the main DPS a break effect increase. And one of her traces makes it so that the entire team's break effect increases against weakness broken enemies. So you see that the break team has one of, if not the highest ceiling in the entirety of the game, even with Fugue not being out yet. E6S5 Ling Sha, as you saw, did more damage with a Fu Yuan follow-up than E6S5 DHIL with a hyper carry E6S5 full team ever did in that entire run. So the Super Break team has a incredibly high ceiling. I don't understand why people are still trying to act like, oh, E6 still #1 DPS, DHIL can still keep up. Keep in mind, this is all just for shits and giggles. If you have an E6S5 of anything, you can probably clear all the content at 0 cycles. But To say the break team's ceiling is ass at E6 S5 has to be some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. Now you may say, oh, maybe they just meant E6 S5 DHIL only. However, no. I believe someone down here mentions E6 S5 DHIL coupled with E6 S5 Sparkle. And even then, I'd much rather an E6 S5 Firefly than an E6 S5 fucking DHIL. Firefly is skill point not friendly, but almost neutral. She consumes way, and I mean way, less skill points than DHIL does. On top of the fact that, as you've seen in this video, Firefly isn't even the only one who does damage on the team. Ling Sha hit for higher than anyone on that team at 2.3 million. A Ruanmei basic did 350k, and in Harmony Trailblazers E did 500k. So I just don't think it's close. I'm gonna be completely honest, it's not even close. Keep in mind, I've made a video like this before because I had an idiot in one of my comment sections also saying that his E6 S5 DHIL is way better than any E6 S5 Firefly or team E6 S5 Firefly could ever be. And I made a video like this like a month or two ago proving him wrong by bringing up two different videos. However, back then, we didn't even have Ling Sha. That's the hilarious part. Even before Ling Sha, the Firefly team still did more damage than an E6 S5 DHIL team. However, now that we have Ling Sha, in my opinion, it's not even close. And soon, with Fugue, the difference is just going to become that much larger. So, quick video. I was laughing at people in these comments. I found it hilarious. The amount of misinformation that people will go to try and like boost how like their favorite DPS or an E6 that they might have. Because keep in mind, there are some whales out here that have E6s, but they don't have an E6 of another character's team, assuming that their team is just the strongest in the game. I mean, if you just took 10 minutes out of your day to look up a video of an E6S Firefly and E6S5 Ling Sha team, you'd instantly be proven wrong. But people like this don't want to be proven wrong. They just want to be like, oh, I have an E6S5, I know what I'm talking about, and you don't because you don't own it. I mean, the evidence is literally right here. E6S5 Firefly teams are way stronger even without Fugue being out yet. When Fugue comes out, the team's damage is gonna nearly double most likely. It is gonna be absolutely crazy, the hyper carry break teams that you're gonna be able to run and how much damage it'll be able to do. So yeah, that's it for the video. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.